further ado, I'd like to welcome you all to your third debate for speech class 2017-2018 school year, 7th hour. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Yay! All right, we'd first like to welcome Aidin as the speaker for the government with a speech not to exceed only 3 minutes this time. Mr. Timekeeper, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Speaker, whenever you're ready, you may begin.
I'm Aidin, the Prime Minister for the government. I'd like to thank my partner, the opposition, the timekeeper, judges, and the audience. The topic we're discussing is, should students have a bedtime or a curfew? As government, we are on that they should have a bedtime or curfew. Our first point is that they need sleep to keep their bodies healthy and well rested so that they can continue to grow and excel in athletics and academics. And then our second point is having enough sleep will help them stay awake and listen during class. That way they know what's going on, can do well on tests, and stay interactive in the class and make sure that everything they know is going on. Our third point is that if they get enough sleep, they're less likely and they'll have less time that they could maybe get into trouble when they are out late, and it gives them less time to do things they may not be supposed to be doing. So as a review, our first point is they need sleep to keep their bodies healthy and well rested. Our second point is they need to stay awake. It'll help them stay awake and listen during class so that way they know what's going on and can do well on tests and in their classes. And our third point is they're less likely and have less time that they can get in trouble and do stuff that they may not supposed to be doing. So I'd like to again thank my partner, the opposition, and the audience, and vote for government.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause. And time, please, timekeeper.
2:51.
2:51. Okay, thank you very much. Let's go ahead and give the opposition 1 minute on the clock, please.
Time.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Timekeeper. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and welcome Samuel to the microphone. Let's give a round of applause. And we'd like to remind Samuel and Mr. Timekeeper that this is a speech that should not exceed 3 minutes. Mr. Timekeeper, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, whenever you're ready, you may begin.
Hello, my name is Samuel Long. I am leader of the opposition. I would like to thank my partner, the government, the audience, the timekeeper, and judges. So the topic is whether students should have a bedtime in the dorms. Their first point was they need sleep so that they could stay healthy, but they may not need that sleep because they may need to stay up late so that they can get their homework done for the classes they have the next morning. Their second point was having enough sleep so that they can do well in class. They may need more time to stay up late to work on the homework so that they can do well in class. The third point is if they don't have enough sleep, they might not be able to get if they don't have enough sleep, they may not be able to concentrate in class, and they might get in trouble. For that, I didn't put anything. So, to review what I said, they might need to stay up late so that they can work on their homework. And they may need to, and for the second point, they may need to stay up late so that they can do better in class if they're not doing so well in the class right now. And then I had nothing for the third. All right, I'd like to thank the government, the audience, timekeeper, and the judges. My name is Samuel Long, and vote for opposition.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's give him a round of applause. And time, please, timekeeper.
201.
Okay, 2:01. Thank you. All right, Mr. Timekeeper, will you please put 1 minute on the clock for Rebekah to prepare her arguments, please? Thank you.
These guys have a point in what he does. He says why the points are and he can't. Hey, he didn't do it here. Yeah, he did it at the beginning, but at the end, Aidin didn't.
Time.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Timekeeper. All right, let's welcome Miss Rebekah to the microphone with a round of applause, please. And welcome her as the second speaker for the government, again with a speech that should not exceed 3 minutes. Got it all figured out there, ma'am? What's that? Okay. Mr. Timekeeper, are you ready? Okay, thank you. And Ms. Speaker, whenever you're ready, you may begin.
I am Rebekah Whitmore, and I am the member of government. I would like to thank my partner, the opposition, the audience, judges, and timekeeper. The topic that we chose is, should dorm students have a curfew and a bedtime? We took the side that they should. The opposition's first point is that they may need to stay up a little later to get homework done. And we counter that by saying most students have pretty good time management, and also that is what study hours is for. Their second point that they stated was they may have to stay up later to do their homework to do well in class. We counter this by saying for most students there is plenty of time to do it after school, and maybe there is the occasional time where they have to stay up a little later, and they do have the option to do that. They did not have anything for the third point, but we said that it may be less likely and less time to get in trouble for the curfew. So if you have curfew, you may have less time to get in trouble or do things that get in trouble. So to review, we said most students have good time management and study hours are there for them to get things done. And our second point is that we said most students have plenty of time after school for to do homework and stuff like that. And our third point is that curfew is there so that they may have less time to get in trouble or do something not smart. I'd like to thank my partner, the opposition, the audience, judges, and timekeeper, and vote for government.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's give her a round of applause, please. And time, please, timekeeper.
208.
2:08. Thank you very much. Will you please put 1 minute on the clock for Elijah to prepare his arguments, please? Thank you.
Time.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Timekeeper. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Elijah, please, with a round of applause to the microphone. And we'd like to remind Mr. Speaker and Mr. Timekeeper that, again, this is a speech that should not exceed 3 minutes. Mr. Timekeeper, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Speaker, whenever you're ready, you may begin.
I'm Elijah Mueller, and I'm a member of the opposition, and I would like to thank my partner, the government, and the audience, judges, and timekeeper. Today we are debating on whether or not dorm students should have a bedtime or curfew, and we stand that the students should not have a bedtime or curfew. The government's first point was that most students have good time management, and if not, that is what study hours is for if they are not able to get their homework done. We think that it is possible that those on study hours would not have enough time to finish their homework if they were involved in sports or other extracurricular activities. The second point made by the government was that they would have plenty of time after school, and if not, they are allowed to stay up later. And we, to this we say that it may not be possible for them to complete their homework after school if they have an early sporting event or are involved in extracurricular activities, and the rule saying that they are allowed to stay up later if they're doing homework is not announced enough so that students are aware of it. And for the third point, they said that students may be less likely to get in trouble if they're in a dorm or their bed, and we did not have a refute for that. I would like to I am Elijah Mueller. I'm a member of the government, and I would like to thank my partner, the government, audience, judges, and timekeeper, and vote for opposition.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's give him a round of applause. And time, please, timekeeper.
1:43.
1:43. Okay, thank you very much. Sam, don't forget we're coming back to you for this next speech. All right, we're coming back to you. All right. If you could please put 1 minute on the clock, Mr. Timekeeper. Thank you.
Time.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Timekeeper. All right, let's give a round of applause to Samuel for one last speech from the opposition with a round of applause, please. And we'd like to remind both Mr. Timekeeper and Mr. Speaker that this speech this time should only last 2 minutes. Yes, 2 minutes in length. All right, Mr. Timekeeper, are you ready?
Yep.
All righty, Mr. Speaker, whenever you're ready, you may begin.
My name is Samuel Long. I am leader of the opposition. I would like to thank my partner, the government, the audience, timekeeper, and judges. The subject of this was whether students should have a bedtime in the dorms. Their first point was most students have good time management, and that's what study hours are for. The their second point was that they have plenty of time to get their school done, plenty of time to get their homework done after school. And the third point was maybe less likely to get in trouble less likely to get in trouble in the dorm if they go to bed on time. To follow up on our first point, I said it is possible that those of the students, those on study hours wouldn't have enough time to get their homework done because of sports. To follow up on the second point, it said those wouldn't have enough time to get their homework done after school because of sport events or extracurricular activity. And we didn't have anything for the third point. I would like to thank my partner, government, audience, timer, judges. My name is Samuel Long, and vote for opposition.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's give him a round of applause. And time, please, timekeeper.
139.
139. Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Timekeeper, one more time. Will you please put 1 more minute on the clock? And Aidin, remember, we're coming to you to close it. Okay? Thank you.
Time.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Mr. Timekeeper. All right, let's go ahead and welcome Aidin for the final speech of this debate today with a round of applause, please. And we'd like to remind Mr. Speaker and Mr. Timekeeper that this speech should not exceed 2 minutes only. Only 2 minutes. Mr. Timekeeper, are you ready?
Yes.
Well, okay, whenever you're ready, Mr. Speaker, you can begin.
I'm Aidin Mueller, the Prime Minister for the government. I'd like to thank my partner, the opposition, the timekeeper, judges, and the audience. The topic we're discussing is whether students should or should not have a bedtime or a curfew, and the government's on the side that they should have a curfew and bedtime. For the first point, the opposition said that they have sports, so they might not have the time or be able to stay during study hours to do their homework, and we counter this by saying that they could do their homework on the bus to get towards the game and after the game, but they still need the sleep to perform well in those sports, but also in school. And then for our second point, the opposition said that they would not have time after school because they might have to leave for sports, but again, they could do the homework on the bus after the game, and there are usually not games on every day, so there would be days they could get their homework done. And then our third point was that with a curfew, it gives students less time and to be out late and maybe be doing stuff that they are not supposed to be doing. So for our first point is they could do the homework on the bus. They can, for a second point, and after they get back and on bus, they can do the homework. And then third, it gives them less time to get in trouble. And I'd like to thank my partner, the opposition, and the audience, and vote for government.
Okay, thank you very much. Oh. Okay, sorry. I apologize. It's just the Norwegian drivers. All right, let's give them a round of applause, please. Sorry about that dead silence there, sir. And time, please, timekeeper.
151.
151. All right, thank you very much. Let's give all of our debaters a round of applause today, please, and thank them for their time.